Okay. So I talked about the agents. You now know what this is, right? Where we're going. We're building the perfect business for you. And we're making sure that everything is as powerful as possible. I didn't want to say optimized or efficient, but that's because those words are like lip service, you know? I could do a whole video, and I have, about that stuff. But let's go slow, because this is a major component. And let's go day 17. Okay? Day 17. Oof, we're getting deep. Day 17 of 30 days, because, you know, the 30th day, I'm just going to go away for a bit and do a remote story about the journey remotely, and also have had, knowing that I put 30 days worth of content onto the internet, you know, so that the traction and momentum is there for building the perfect business for you. All right, so the agents. Here are 3 corporate areas that we're going to talk about very specifically right now, so that, and it'll tie everything together a little better, okay? As always, these graphics, these infographics that I refer to quite often, that are available online, and I'll just supply a link for the formula and the agents, right? Let's do some bubbles. Okay? So we're going to go, these 3 are all very interesting ones, okay? And they don't have to be in any order, okay? But these 3 bubbles will be modern finance, okay? Modern HR, okay? And we're going to do modern legal. All right. We got 3 modern corporate areas on the board. Day 17. So if I haven't said this before, I'll say it again. If I have, whatever. App-centric. Said this, I have said maybe different video set. App-centric. Platform-specific. All right? So there's a few ways to look at this. There's also some breakouts. Pardon me. So modern legal, what we're going to do is we're going to be brand heavy as always. We're going to go, what's the platform of choice? Clio! All right? Here's me talking about Clio right now. So you, the business owner, all right? Remember, you're building the perfect business for you. There's going to be a lot of legal stuff. You're going to, like, corporate law is just deep. It's thick, and you're going to have to know a lot of things, and you're going to have a lot of contracts. You're going to have a lot of documents that are just legally binding, okay? You don't want to have to do more work than you should if you're paying your lawyer. So finding a lawyer that uses Clio makes your modern legal corporate area bandwidth conscious for you, the owner. Why? Well, here's the deal. That platform is built for lawyers. And it's also built for you, their client. Okay? So what happens is when they onboard you, when a modern lawyer onboards you, the business owner, the business, the institution, okay? When they're using Clio, they get to add your email into the platform, just like how you would add an email for an advisor or a contributor or an administrator or whoever you're hiring as the agent, right? So inside their platform, they make it easier to sign things, to book time with your lawyer, to see documents. They have a document storage for you. They have notifications if they change things that you request. It's so amazing that it saves so much of your bandwidth or your team's bandwidth just by using a platform. So an app-centric agent A modern lawyer using Clio saves you time and process decisions. And also, there's a lot of things buried in there that you might not understand, but you won't have to because you're going to log in to see it when you need to. It eliminates a lot of this unnecessary traffic of email and calls, etc., right? Optimized modern law. Bam. The documents alone, like revisions of documents and contracts and stuff like that, it's not a fucking attachment in an email world anymore. It's just log into Clio. You see? So it works backwards for them to maximize to better manage your bandwidth expectations. Managing expectations is the number one thing, right? We're building the perfect business for you. I digress. That's only one of the areas I'm talking about, the app-centric, okay? Modern legal. To be honest with you, there isn't really any other platform out there that's customer associative centric, for you, involving modern legal, like involving the best operations ever to save you time, would be Clio. All right. Let's go to modern HR, everybody. So there's a lot of platforms out there. The two that we focus on over here would be Humi and Collage. And I'll put links in all this stuff, okay? There's a lot of other ones. Those are just the ones that we found were hot and easy to use, that have so many cool features like coming down the pipe, new things that they're going to roll out. They just integrate well with your institution, especially if you're a small or medium business, and especially if you're in certain industries, etc. But that's the way that we do the model over here, right? We have to find out which ones are better for you. Might not be one of those. But like I said, now that you know that it's a corporate area and you want an app-centric agent, another business that could be a remote department, through that platform to you, the same thing applies, okay? Meaning that you associate the platform, you subscribe to the platform, and then they are the administrator, the remote department through that platform for like anything to do with HR, okay? You see what I'm talking about? By choosing the platform, in modeling your business, we're building the perfect business for you, the owner, okay? So like why would you go off the rails and make these strange decisions for no reason if you're paying these people to like maintain and help you scale your business? And the best part about this too, though, is that there's so many trackable analytics and there's so many things that you can keep track because you're in the right place and you're using the right platform. See how important these things are. But now that you've got modern HR and you've got modern legal, right? You're getting how this is all just pieces of this giant puzzle that takes you off the tools so you don't have to. Executive decisions only, man, based on data. Drive the revenue line. How many times do I say that? Anyway, so that's app-centric, modern HR. All right? Here's the other one that I wanted to talk about, which is like opening the gates of hell. And why do I say that? There's a lot of pressure between QuickBooks Online, the fight against Xero. Okay? So let's go modern finance, right? We're going to have Xero, Xero, and we're also going to have QuickBooks Online, or QBO Plus, we'll call it, okay? These are platforms that are fighting like crazy to get you into their platform, basically. Because QuickBooks Intuit is trying to rule the universe, and Xero is better. Both of the platforms have the capability of adding an advisor. So you subscribe to the platform, you're paying for it, right? They both have all these integrations. Xero is better. And then what happens is you can add the advisor, okay? So I'm going to have to erase the board because I'm going to go into modern finance a little bit here because it's pretty heavy, okay? A lot of people make the wrong decisions here. A lot of people, a lot of business owners make a lot of wrong decisions here because they're used to something and they don't know about something else. That's all Intuit has, man. Intuit has the market because of QuickBooks Desktop. And, you know, it's so shitty in so many ways. Especially, and this is why I call the cloud wars really important here. So I'm just going to erase this. So we're going to be talking about, you know, an app-centric modern finance world, okay? So let's go. We got, you know that it's modern finance, right? And the modern finance that I wrote down. And then the next thing you know is that it's app-centric. So modern finance would be app-centric. So we're going to have, it's either going to be QuickBooks Online Plus or it's going to be zero, okay? And I already started talking about QuickBooks because I want to throw them under the bus so bad, but here's what I'm getting at. QuickBooks, they built the Windows installable desktop world of accounting. There are others out there, but we're talking small, medium business, and they really capitalized on the market during that time. This whole cloud thing started happening, and then they already were building more versions of desktop, more versions of, you know, QuickBooks for Windows, installed on Windows. And then you got this other department that they have in Intuit that has to build a cloud product because cloud's getting super hot and we better have QuickBooks Online soon. So what I find is a lot of large organizations like Intuit, when they had to build both and maintain both, they had to take their whole team of engineers and they had to, it's kind of like it's split because they had to build the installable Windows application world, and then they also had to build their cloud version of that software. But here's what happens. It's chaos when you're doing both. So Intuit got really chaotic for a period of time there. They didn't really, their QuickBooks Online product shit the fucking bed when it first came out. Okay? It was just a mess. A lot of people frowned on cloud because that might have been their first cloud adoption, would have been QuickBooks Online, right? And so they got let down. Now, imagine companies come and they never had to focus on the Windows installable application world of the software, like FreshBooks or Xero, okay? What did they do? They just focused on web only, HTML, you know, the GUI, the UX, everything's super forward, and they don't have to worry about Windows. They don't have to worry about this downloadable application that has updates and critical fixes and changes every year, and you got to blah, 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 blah. It's like babysitting and maintenance and blah. So when these cloud companies started with these application environments, these platforms, and they didn't have to worry about that Windows installable world or that Apple installable world, right? It's actually mostly Windows. Then they can focus, and focusing only on these future forward UXs built on the right back end, the right choices in programming languages, the right classic UX front, bam! Then they're better. Because they're only putting all of their time and effort in making that one interface platform be the best. QuickBooks couldn't do that. They were split. So a lot of these companies that came around that, you know, are new, they were like focused, and that's why they're better. That's why Xero is better than QuickBooks Online. That's why Clio is better than, say, PC Law. PC Law being that behemoth that owns a lot of law firms, that's a Windows installable application. Sure, they have cloud versions and availability and whatever, but they shit the bed so many times that people looking for an all-cloud solution that didn't have a Windows installable application software version, Clio. See? So Clio, Xero, these are the people that win because of when they came around and how they focused their resources on that. Okay? So Xero, wins. QuickBooks Online will do the same thing. Sometimes, here, side note, per industry, QuickBooks Online is better. Oh, I hate that I said that. But it does depend on the industry. I'll be honest, here at the Automated Method, there isn't anything that we haven't been able to use Xero for. There's a lot of people out there that think that Xero doesn't do what it's supposed to because they don't understand how Xero and QuickBooks Online, their cloud versions of the accounting, may have other components that aren't inside their platform that you tap into, which would be like your Substack, okay? Your Substack of other applications in the accounting, modern finance bubble part of your whole cloud ecosystem. We're trying to make sure this isn't a Franken system, so just remember, there are so many other options once you get to the main core of that corporate area. All right? Now, as I said before, you can just assign agents, other businesses, by putting an email address into the platform that you pay for. They'll set it up, okay? They'll train it. We'll introduce you to those people. That's what the Automated Method does. But now you get it. So you can add the email address in QuickBooks Online for the advisor, or you can add the email address into Xero for the advisor. They get the email knowing what they're doing, and they don't have to ask any questions, and bam, the relationship starts. Do you see how fucking awesome that is? Okay? So I'm going to break it down one more. So say you were using Xero, because you are going to use Xero. Well, the books and the bank. Okay? So the books and the bank. Bookkeeping service, remote bookkeeping service, cloud remote bookkeeping service, cloud remote accountant. Right? Now you know how you can separate these two because you might have a different accountant than you do bookkeeper. Or maybe later on you can do whatever you want. But see, that's how this works. I just realized that I forgot about the humans, which is the bubble outside of modern HR, but you get it. It's just that there isn't really, for a lot of small and medium business, it's just one HR company that's handling, the app-centric, one company that's handling that platform, whether it be Humi or Collage for you, okay? That's why. But here, very common, you might have a different accountant than you do bookkeeper. But now that you can move it around, you can change it because you just change inside the platform. You just remove the email address of the bookkeeping service and add a new one if you were to move to a different bookkeeping service, or you do the same thing with your accountant. You go in, you remove your accountant's email address and the permissions to the platform, you just go add a different accountant right there. Boom. Modern Finance 101. Now, this is a little bit over 15 minutes. Wanted to just add that the stuff you can do once you're inside the platform, once you're in that SaaS product, that SaaS service, whatever, is awesome. Because we're only at the Automated Method here recommending the ones that have magic available. Automatic technologies, all the native integrations, a lot of future forward stuff going on, man. I'm not going to say QuickBooks Online isn't, but I'm going to say that I know Xero is, and I know where they're going. And so, if once again, specific to you, you're building the perfect business. If you want to use Xero and the bookkeeping service or the accountant isn't in line with what you want to do, maybe it's time to look for a new one. This is for you. The amount of exceptions. I have to say this. In my experience, the amount of exceptions an owner puts into their own, their bandwidth, they're willing to give up so much time and screw their own bandwidth for these professional people that they're paying, when if they suggest, hi, we want to use Xero over here, the professional on the other side should automatically be like, cool, that's what we do over here, instead of, we only do QuickBooks Online. They're so limiting. It's so limiting. And also, when you're trying to even use QuickBooks Online and they're like, no, we don't do that over here. We don't need to. I'm like, what? This is for you. The majority of people, and I'll leave it here. This is what you do. The exceptions are made because you already have a relationship with this professional. That's fine and dandy and great. But we're trying to make sure that the ecosystem is tight all the operations are tight connected between all of the tabs in Google Chrome, between all the native integrations, between everything is just operationally amazing in preparation for automatic technologies, injecting and turning on everything. So that's what you want, right? That's why you're here. So just remember that, because what happens is a lot of institutions or owners will insert a human, an entire salarized human, to accommodate a lot of the things that the bookkeeping service or the accountant will not, because they're not app-centric for you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's like, not only are you paying the bookkeeping service or the bookkeeper and the accountant and the accounting service, but you're also paying for another controller, like maybe on top of another controller, just to accommodate this whole process of communication with the professional. See what I'm saying? That's important, because that is commonly done, and then you're not even thinking about your own personal bandwidth. That's why we're building the perfect business. Think about your bandwidth, your time as an owner.